Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Hello, children. How are you all doing? How is this compulsory holiday? I hope you are all being kind to one another and you're being respectful. And above all, I hope you are studying. May Almighty Allah be with you and protect you always. So, without further ado, we're going to dive into a topic called patterns that we were not able to cover due to the impromptu holiday. So, this topic is patterns. What do we understand by the word patterns? Patterns, I believe, are all around us, in nature as well as in art and design. We want to talk about patterns in nature. Haven't we come across the stripes of the zebra, the jaguar, the tiger, even the leopard and the giraffe? They are all patterns. Even the deserts. We tried, just Google it and see a parched desert where there isn't water. It's all patterns, patterns, patterns. And those are natural from Allah. And there are also patterns that we produce in arts and design. So let's define it. A pattern is a repeated arrangement of lines, shapes, colors, symbols, or motifs to create a decorative design. It is formed when an element of design is repeated over and over in an organized way to make a surface look attractive. Patterns can be used in fabrics. Fabrics means the atamfa that we're familiar with for the females. Even the males sometimes wear some forms of atamfa. So that's what we call fabrics. If you notice, there are usually patterns on them. Traditional crafts too, architecture, artworks, wallpapers, beadwork, pottery, and cultural decorations. Now, let's classify these patterns. They are usually in form of natural patterns. These are patterns created from things found in nature. Example, leaves, flowers, shells, animal skin patterns. Even the clouds, the rocks, they are all different patterns that could be appreciated as natural. The next classification of pattern is geometric patterns. From the word geometric, it has to do with shapes. They are meaning using mathematical shapes like circles, triangles, etc. to make patterns, organic patterns. These are free-flowing, irregular, curvy patterns inspired by nature also. Examples, vines, waves, plant forms. Then we have motif-based patterns. A motif being a single unit of design. Single meaning one, singular. Now, when motifs are repeated, they form motif patterns. The fifth is symmetrical and asymmetrical patterns. These patterns usually take the look of an identical nature when divided into two, while the asymmetrical patterns are not identical on both sides but still look balanced. The next, which is the last, we have rotational or radial patterns. These patterns are created when a motif is repeated around the central point like a wheel. It's often seen in mandala designs. So please do well to Google mandala designs to see illustrated examples. Now, let's talk about the types of patterns, meaning all these patterns we have talked about, there are particular ways that they are presented. So let's dive into that. The first is mirror repeat pattern. A motif is repeated by flipping it as if placed in front of a mirror. One side is the mirror image of the other. Motifs can be mirrored horizontally or vertically. So now, mirror repeat pattern. Imagine you see yourself in the mirror. You know what you are seeing is the opposite of what is in front of the mirror. So that's how these motif patterns are presented. There's an illustration on your screen of an example of a mirror repeat pattern. If you can see, they are all opposing each other. The next is flipped over pattern. The motif is turned upside down, sideways, or rotated to create a repeating pattern. So can we see this pattern is interchanging, right? Is interchanging, is going sideways, 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 flip to the other way, flip to the other side, flip to the other side. Now, the next is diamond pattern. The motif or shape is arranged to form diamond shapes. Diamond shape is just a square turned on its points. So if you can view the illustration or the picture shown on your slide, you'd notice that the squares are turned to a point, forming a diamond shape. So the motif is now placed in that diamond space. So that's what we mean by a diamond pattern. Now, the next is checkerboard patterns. Here, squares are arranged side by side in rows and columns with alternating colors. Now, this is a clear example of a picture of a checkerboard pattern. You can see alternating colors, white and black stripes with flowers arranged in an alternate manner. The next is half drop pattern. Now, half drop patterns are made by dropping every single line of motifs down a half length height of the motif, or each row of motifs is shifted halfway down compared to the previous row. As you can see from the illustration, this grammar I've just spoken, it might be a bit confusing, but once you see the picture, you just get a very clear view of what a half drop pattern means. So please do well to view this and all equally check for more and more examples. The next is repeat pattern, straight repeats, also known as straight repeats. The motif is repeated horizontally and vertically in a straight line without shifting, flipping, or rotating. Importance of patterns: decoration and beauty, cultural identity, communication, creativity and imagination, order and organization, recognition and memory, functional uses, economic value, protection and security, and education. Now, that's the end of patterns. Let's dive into the next topic, which is the study of colors. What is color? Color is the visual sensation or effect produced when light strikes an object, is reflected, and then enters the eyes, allowing us to see the object's appearance as red, blue, green, yellow, or any other hue. Mind you, hue is another name for color. Color exists because of light, meaning this light from the sun, once it hits an object, some parts of that light are absorbed while others are reflected. The part that is reflected to our eyes is what we view as color, is what we see as color. I hope you understand this fact. Now, it can simply be said it's a visual impression received by the eyes and interpreted by the brain as a color. An example: a leaf looks green because it absorbs all other colors of light and reflects green light. A ripe tomato appears red because it reflects red light and absorbs others. Classification of colors. We have primary colors and we know what it comprises of: the red, blue, yellow. We have secondary colors. A combination of two primary colors gives the secondary colors. And we have the green, orange, and violet. Next, we have the tertiary colors. These are made by mixing a primary color with its neighboring secondary color. These are the examples on the slide. The sources of colors. We have natural sources gotten from things like plants, animals, minerals, and soil, charcoal and ash. And we have artificial or synthetic sources. They are made by humans in the factories. Examples of them are acrylic, fabric dyes, watercolors, inks, crayons, markers, and what have you. Function of colors. Colors perform important roles in art and our daily life. What are those functions? Attraction. Bright colors attracts attention. Communication, decoration, identification, expression. We use colors to show our feelings. Properties of color. The three main properties of color are A, the hue, which is the name of the color. It could be red, blue, orange, purple. Now, the next is value, meaning how light or dark a color can be. How do we achieve that? When we add white, it means it gets lighter, meaning we tint. The word tint means light, meaning when you add white, you get a tinted color. When we add black, it means a shade. So the darker the color, it means you're adding more and more black. If you're adding gray, which is a combination of black and white, it means tone. So take note of tint, shade, and tone. The tone is not here, but you need to take note of it too. Now we have intensity, which is saturation, how bright or dull a color appears. So those are the three main properties or characteristics of color: hue, value, intensity. Please stick it somewhere. Now, emotional qualities of colors. Did you know that colors can create feelings and moods? Yes, it does. That is why when you are trying to paint your interior, the interior of your homes, colors play a great role. You need to get an expert to advise you on what color to paint your sitting room, your bedrooms, even your classrooms, even in schools. You need to invite someone that knows his crafts. Now, we have red. Red gives off excitement, danger, and love. Blue represents calmness, sadness, and peace. Yellow, happiness and energy. Green, nature, freshness, and safety. Purple signifies royalty, creativity. Black signifies mystery, fear, and strength. White signifies purity and cleanliness. The next is color wheel theory. Meaning of color wheel. A color wheel is a circular diagram that shows the relationship between colors. It helps artists understand how colors are created, how they relate to each other, and how to mix them correctly. The modern color wheel consists of primary, secondary, and tertiary colors arranged in a circle. So this slide shows a picture of a color wheel. As you can see, it comprises of the primary colors, the secondary, and the tertiary colors. Now, what are the color relationships in the color wheel? Now, these colors, they relate with one another. So we are going to talk about the different ways they relate with one another. Complementary colors. These are colors that lie opposite each other on the color wheels. Example, red and green, blue and orange, yellow and purple. The effect of this is they create a strong contrast and vibrancy. Now, if you want to pair colors when you're wearing clothing, complementary colors makes you actually stand out. So the next time you want to wear something, how about trying out complementing colors? Just go to your notes and use it as a guide. Use the color wheel as a guide to pick out the clothes you're going to wear, and you'll be glad you did. The next is analogous colors. These are colors that lie next to each other on the color wheel. Examples are yellow, yellow-green, green, blue, blue-violet, and violet. The effect of analogous colors is they produce harmony and a calm feeling. The next is triadic colors. These are any three colors that are evenly spaced around the color wheel. Examples are the triad of the red, yellow, blue, which are the primary, or the triad of the orange, green, and purple. The effect of triad colors is to create balance and strong visual interest. We also have split complementary colors, a color and the two colors next to its complement. Example, the main color being blue, the complement being orange, the split complement being red, orange, and yellow, orange. The effect of this is less harsh contrast and more harmony. Monochrome colors. Monochrome colors are colors made from one single color by adding white, black, or gray to create different tints, shades, and tones of that color. So monochrome means one color in many variations. How monochrome colors are created? To make a tint, the color and white makes the color lighter, just as we discussed earlier with value. To make a shade, you add color plus black, it makes the color darker. To create a tone, you add color plus gray, it softens the color. Now, earlier we said colors also have feelings. Now we have warm colors and cool colors. Warm colors are associated with heat and energy. Examples are the red, orange, yellow. The effect of this is they create excitement, warmth, and activity. Now, cool colors are associated with calmness and nature. Examples are blue, green, violet. The effect of this is to create calmness and relaxation. Now, just from your knowledge of this study of colors, you can now be an authority on the colors that daddy or mommy should choose to color, to paint the bedrooms, the sitting rooms. So from the screen, you can see an illustration of the relationships of the colors. The primary, the secondary, tertiary, and whatnot. Now, importance of the color wheel. It helps artists mix colors correctly. Designers choose the right color combinations. It helps painters plan color schemes for artworks. It helps crafters, makers create harmony in tie-dye, batik, and fabric designs. Students understand relationships between colors. So it is very important to read and understand these colors because it goes a long way in helping you in your artistic journey. It helps in your creativity and it helps you become a better artist. So I think we have come to the end of this class. I hope you have understood. Even if you haven't, please do well to go over the slides. They're all in Google Classroom, a comprehensive slide. Do well to go over it, read it, and understand, digest it. Just the way you are eating your food, digest these slides too, and in no time you'll get the gist of it. I wish you a very blessed day. May Allah be with you. Keep on being good and kind to one another. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.